first of all, I want to point out that Between the Buried and Me, Rivers of Nihil, and another band are on tour starting next week. You should all go and support this tour. Between the Buried and Me are a great band. They're really proggy and really, really, really talented, exceptionally well-skilled musicians. So one of the guys from River of Nihil. He liked some tweets by some people that are bad people, like Adam Carolla. And,
who's the most inoffensive of people, for the most part.
And Owen Benjamin, who's a flat earther. So, I mean, that's hilarious. But people like, I think he likes some Tim Pool tweets.
I know that guy.
And some loser from a metal blog took issue with it. Now, metal blogs do this, right? They start up a blog and they want to go ahead and get attention. So what they do is they find some dude in a band who's done something that they can go ahead and point to and say, oh, look how bad he is. And it'll, draw a bunch of attention to their blog. And that's what happened with this band. The bass player, I mean, I don't think that he's a Nazi. And that's essentially what's the argument being made, but it's cancel culture because of the fact that he liked some tweets by people that are persona non grata. Now, anybody that follows me, you're already doomed, right? But I would recommend strongly go check out the band, because the best way to push back against these types of attacks, and they are attacks, is to show that they have no power to do anything. So go see Between the Buried and Me's tour. They're going to be on tour they're starting, I think, in like Baltimore next week on the 14th or 15th or something like that. But it's Between the BT Bam is on Twitter. It's like,
but the guy's name is Adam Kate Briggs. That's the name of this bassist.
I forget.
And it's just, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the Mumford & Sons guy, the Winston Marshall dude who got in trouble for daring to read a book that people didn't agree with. It was like Andy No's book. And they got very upset that he dared to, venture outside his own echo chamber and say, hey, look, I read this book. It's interesting. And they don't like that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've been the persona non grata in the metal community for a long time, and it fries the asses of a lot of people on the left that All That Remains continues to put out music that does well.
Because they really do. They get upset when they find out. They're like, how dare you not crawl up into a box and end yourself.
And unfortunately, I think he might have apologized, but I'm not sure. I know that he deleted his Twitter account, which probably
Well, he responded. He says, hey, everyone, I understand why folks here might be upset by the things they've seen in certain posts about me recently. Allow me to first say that I am in no way a bigot, and I support the rights of people from all walks of life, absolutely including friends and fans in the LGBTQ plus community. I've never equated a like as an endorsement of any viewpoint. I use Twitter as a means of keeping my eyes on a vast array of ideas, especially ones separate from my own. As an artist, I believe this is an important practice. I like these posts as a way of keeping my timeline from becoming an echo chamber. I am no fan of hate-mongering celebrity figures either. People like Andrew Tate are clearly horrible. But I do constantly try to understand all sorts of views and goings-on in controversial spaces. I apologize for any pain or confusion my activity on this site may have caused anyone, and I'd like to say that it's still encouraging to me that so many of you have connected with my music at some point or another. I'd ask that you trust that my art is truly who I am, not my interaction on this platform. Thanks and much love. To say that likes on Twitter have caused anything short of nothing at all is patently insane.
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, it does have that typical, hostage letter.
Yes, I apologize.
Yes. And kudos to the Mumford & Sons guy for retracting his apology. Yes,
you should never apologize for these kind of things because
you didn't do anything wrong.
First of all, apologizing implies that you've done something wrong, and he hasn't. First of all, and second of all, even if you apologize, there is no absolution. Like this isn't
ever.
Yeah, this isn't like this isn't like
exactly.
You could say, oh well, I sinned and then I went to my priest and I did my confession and so now I'm absolved and I'm forgiven of that sin. There is no forgiveness. anyone at any point can bring this up in the future, and this guy's going to have to do the grovel dance again. Never apologize, because the grovel dance will be the only thing that they want out of you. So,
and they will want that to continue every time you do something. You are now a marked man.
Yeah.
What he should have done is actually just hit save on those tweets.
Yeah.
If that was actually what he believes, I don't even know if I buy the idea that the likes don't equal. I guess that people do say that, right? They say, or no, they say retweets don't equal.
Retweets, yeah, retweets, likes. I wouldn't like anything.
There we go.
Number 3.
But they say retweets don't equal endorsement, right?
Yeah, and which I agree with, because there's a lot of times I'll retweet stuff of things that I strongly disagree with, and then I'll follow up afterwards and I'll talk about it, or I'll just be like, retweets are not endorsements or whatever. But
likes, like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I think that he's probably got people in the band that are like, yo, don't screw us, et cetera, et cetera.
Probably.
That is the most likely situation. But I would say, I strongly recommend, if you find yourself in a position where people are demanding that you make an apology, don't apologize. Don't apologize at all, because they will never, ever stop punishing you. So just flip them off. No one ever comes at me for this stuff and says, oh, Phil, did you say this, blah, blah, blah. You know why? Because they know what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip them off.
The articles from now on will say, it'll say Adam K. Briggs, who's known to like alt-right tweets, has a new album coming out. You'll never escape it. It will be there forever.
Right.
It will never say Adam K. Briggs. In fact, this would be just as bad, but they'd say Adam K. Briggs, who had to apologize for liking alt-right tweets by Owen Benjamin. Like, you're not going to escape it. It's not going away.
No.
It's not going anywhere. You didn't do anything wrong. Liking tweets is not a crime. It did not cause anyone harm. And anybody that says otherwise is either lying, deluded, or an extremely bad actor. They're politically motivated. Don't do it.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's so strange to me that this does not occur to people, that they don't understand that they are trying to appeal to 5% of the population at most, and that Twitter is not representative. Just because people on Twitter are mad that you liked something does not mean any of your actual fans care. They probably don't even know you liked it.
It's not real life. It's not a real place.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Also,
and you are pandering, you are kowtowing to some of the most unreasonable people in the world. It makes no sense to keep doing it.
And if you want to have, like, look, if you want to stay politically informed and you want to keep it out of your work, I understand that completely. That's not really possible for us here. Like, actually, it's really funny. Like, my Twitter is mostly just talking about movies and television.
Movies and philosophy. That's all I do.
That's all mine, really.
Politics,
but get a separate account and use that as your account for that. I wouldn't recommend it, because I feel like then you're like, if you feel like, I don't even go through and follow a lot of political accounts.
It poisons your mind.
The ones that I follow here because they've been here, right? So it's like they're people that I've interacted with. But if you have to feel like you have to go to a separate space just to do it, it's going to get to you down the line if it's something you care
and
directly
you're gonna feel
about.
the temptation, I feel, to jump into the outrage pool.
Yeah.
Like and this is part. I don't do it. I don't tweet about politics because I do not want to spend my day getting angry about something.
Exactly.
I just want to talk about things that I like. Now, unfortunately, because the way things work, you're not going to gain a whole lot of followers on Twitter that way. It's very sad.
You will have to accept that you are not going to go viral the way the other people are. But those people, that's the road they pick. That's the road they choose.
That's but that's why I spend my time making movies and putting out art. Like I've said, we talked about before the show started. It's the long game that you play.
Yeah.
You create things to try and give people
even,
common language.
Even for here, I feel like I'm kind of lucky. Like, even though I don't tweet about it, I do still get to at least vocalize what I feel about a lot of these issues on this show. So I don't feel like I have to use my social media platforms as a way to get it out of my system. Though the reason a lot of other people do it is, one, they have a lot to say about it. Two, they use it as a way to market their material, right? For me, like, I don't, like, I would rather talk about, like, when we were talking about the stuff with Call of Duty, I'm more interested in talking about, like, what are they going to do to, what else are they going to play, rather than the politics of it. I'm more interested, like, where are they going to go for their business now, right? That's politics, but politics adjacent to entertainment. And most of the people in that space want to talk just about the politics, and they just want to fight about it. And I want to fight with people. I want to fight with people. Phil likes fighting with people on Twitter.
No, I just like exposing the ideologues, because I believe that we are in actually in a cultural revolution like the one that went on in China. And I believe that like if we fail to save the liberal philosophy that underpins the United States, the type of totalitarianism that is the type and the ubiquitousness of the totalitarianism that's coming is unprecedented in human history. America will be like China. And
Also,
then you will have a social credit system. You're not going to be allowed to go to movies if you don't have a high enough social credit score. You're not going to be allowed to travel. You're not going to be allowed to do all sorts of things. And all of this has never been easier for governments because of the ubiquitousness of cell phones and stuff. The last frontier is a central bank digital currency.
Yep. We got a $20 super chat here from Wyatt Derp. Again, he says it takes 26 muscles to smile, 32 to frown, only 4 to extend a middle finger. Phil Labonte, probably.
Probably.
He thinks that that's your philosophy on life.
Very close.
Look, for these things, like I've had people that have come to me and said ridiculous things and things that weren't even necessarily true or that they couldn't have known. Like I had a friend who came to me and wrote me this insanely long, extremely vile letter about my supposed support of Donald Trump, to which I said, what? Like, I don't talk. How would you even know if that was true? And even then, like, you can't have a rational discussion about something like this. And no matter what I explained, it didn't matter. It doesn't matter because even if it's your friends, if they're too far gone down the political rabbit hole, they're not going to listen to you.
Yeah, they're going to stop being your friends.
And people that are writing articles for rock magazines, for any type of music publication. Did this start with Pitchfork? Did Pitchfork used to do stuff like this?
I don't know. I don't know where it started, but I know that there are a couple blogs that I don't really want to talk about because I don't want to.
Yeah. But it's like, this isn't unique to music. This goes in video games. This goes in entertainment. They have journalists who are really just activists.
Well, that's the thing. It's ubiquitous throughout a lot of the media, the journalist side of the media, because there are a lot of the same people. Like there are people that write for metal blogs that move on, and as they get better at writing, they end up at Vox or they end up at some other place where they're writing. And that's why you see like such a uniform message. Like I've said this before, GQ and Teen Vogue have no business having similar content. There's no reason for it. But yet, you see similar stories in Teen Vogue and GQ and Better Homes and Garden. It's like, why are they running the same topics? The topics that they're covering should be different, but it's all similar topics, just like dressed up for that magazine. So it's like trans men are in GQ, and then with Teen Vogue, it's like more directly LGBT focused, but it's still the same topics that they're covering. It's just a little different perspective on all the same topics. Why would the topics be all the same? Yep. Why does the New York Times sound like, Better Homes and Gardens? Why does the New York Times sound like GQ? Why does it's like these properties should reflect their readership.
Because they're all owned by the same conglomerates.
Exactly.
Too.
Well, yeah, and it's the same people writing, and they want to get, if you want to advance, like if you start out at a blog, the holy grail is working at the New York Times. Yeah. So how do you get there?
You start out at MovieWeb. And you go from there because they're all owned by the same 4 or 5 conglomerates of companies, all under the same corporate umbrella.
Well, and those guys are all on the chopping block now because all those articles are going to be written by ChatGPT by next year. Yeah. Like all the gateway, the entry level, writing for Screen Rant or whatever, like that's gone. Those AI has been writing those articles for years already. Mm-hmm. Everyone could just tell. Now it's going to be all of them.
Yep. It's also like his examples are like what? The examples were so Adam Carolla?
Yeah.
Adam Carolla? Like really?
It was Adam Carolla. There was one Andrew Tate one, but it wasn't even an offensive Andrew Tate one. It was like him. I'm going to see if I can find the exact. Yeah. Here we go. Andrew Tate said, "Those who hoard money never enjoy life. Savers live boring lives. You only live once." And I'm like, what exactly what is the I have been vocally critical of Andrew Tate. Mm-hmm. But I see no problem with that statement. Like, don't hoard your money. Isn't that like what the left is all about?
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.